From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, I'm Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Thursday, August 10th. Fortunately, we are going to get some dry time today. We need that after the inches of rain we got all across central Indiana yesterday, certainly throughout the Indianapolis metro area. Temperatures are going to get into the low to mid 80s, but it's going to be quite humid. We have been following breaking news out of Hawaii. The death toll soared overnight. Authorities say at least 36 people are dead and hundreds are trying to get out of Maui as catastrophic wildfires sweep the island. The fires have turned the historic tourist area of Lahaina into smoking piles of rubble, spurred by strong winds from Hurricane Dora passing far to the south. Nearly 300 homes and businesses are destroyed. The popular tourist area of Lahaina has been largely reduced to rubble. Hawaii's lieutenant governor said overnight the road to recovery will take several years. Military helicopters have dumped tens of thousands of gallons of water. Crews are also trying to restore communications across the island. Authorities say more than 11,000 people had to evacuate yesterday, and they say 600 people stayed overnight at the airport. But Hawaii's transportation director said some airplanes left Maui with empty seats because highway closures kept people from getting to the airport. About 1,500 people are set to fly out today. Maui County officials say the 30 members of the U.S. Army arrived overnight and will start search and recovery efforts this morning. Indianapolis police say 2 men are hurt after a shooting outside a Beach Grove bar. It happened at about 3 this morning at the Silver Bullet Sports Bar on Main Street. Police say both men were awake and breathing when medics took them to the hospital. Investigators have not said if they're looking for a suspect. 2 local clergy groups are calling for the resignation of Indianapolis Police Chief Randall Taylor. The groups Concerned Clergy of Indianapolis and Baptist Ministers Alliance spoke together yesterday. They accused Taylor of turning his back on the average citizen. The groups specifically referenced the city's consistently high homicide numbers and recent shootings by officers. IMPD responded to the criticism through a statement saying Taylor has worked tirelessly for our city, the department, and its employees to be transparent and accountable. He's directed the department to be laser focused on protecting every neighborhood and all those who live, work, and visit our great city. A very popular author is bringing national attention to a local controversy. John Green's considerable social media might is focused on Hamilton East Library and its decision to move his best-selling book. Green calls the decision to reshelve The Fault in Our Stars from young adult to adult ludicrous. The reshelving is a part of the Hamilton East Public Library Board's new collection development policy. It overrides publisher, author, and librarian recommendations on where to shelve books. Green posted about the policy on X several times yesterday, including a screenshot of a letter to the library board. In the letter, Green says it's political theater of the lowest and most embarrassing order, and it's an awful way to have Fishers and Noblesville make national news. He goes on to say he's infuriated as a business owner, a parent, an author, and a citizen. News 8 reached out to all members of the library board. None said they were available for comment. Feed deer in Bloomington, and you might get a $50 fine. The city council is considering a ban. The council talked about it at last night's meeting. The goal is to cut down on interactions between people and deer to keep the animals healthy. Conservation officers say deer have a specific diet of leafy plants during the summer and woody twigs in the winter, and that well-meaning people can do harm by leaving corn, fruit, hay, grains, nuts, wheat, and vegetables for the animals. The next step for the ban is debate and a possible vote next Wednesday. Clark Pleasant school leaders are crediting the quick actions of students and a bus driver after a student brought a gun on the bus. We brought this to you as breaking news on Daybreak yesterday. Have been following it ever since. The district says the student told the bus driver about a gun in another student's backpack, and the driver confiscated it. Parents told News 8 that they want to see more safety measures in place. News 8 spoke to Superintendent Tim Edsell about the district's plans going forward.
We're going to follow protocols just like we did today, as quick and safely to make sure everyone is safe as possible, to educate all of our students from the families to us, to make sure that they realize it's not appropriate to bring weapon of any kind to school.
The district said police detained the Breakaday elementary student for questioning. Leaders think the gun came from the student's home, but haven't released any other details. Today, more court appearances for people connected to the classified documents case against former President Donald Trump. The property manager of Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate and former aide Walt Nauta are both due back in a Florida federal court. Carlos de Oliveira faces charges including conspiracy to obstruct justice. Nauta is expected to enter a plea for the second time in the case. It comes after prosecutors handed down an updated indictment last month alleging Trump asked a staffer to delete camera footage from his estate. Trump was also set to be arraigned today, but waived his right to appear last week. And Trump says he should not be required to go to a sensitive compartmented information facility to discuss the classified evidence in the documents case. Attorneys for Trump made the request in a new court filing yesterday. Instead, Trump says he should be allowed to discuss the materials at a facility at or near his home. The filing says that location was previously approved for discussing classified information when Trump was president. Trump's team did not specify at which residence. Newly released court documents show the special counsel investigating the case obtained a search warrant for records related to Trump's Twitter account. The documents also show a judge levied a $350,000 fine on Twitter for missing the deadline to comply. The documents were released in a federal appeals court decision yesterday. The court in Washington rejected a claim from Twitter. It should not have been held in contempt or sanctioned. According to the documents, Jack Smith's team obtained the warrant in January. It's unclear what information Smith may have been seeking. A man accused of threatening President Biden is dead. FBI agents shot him to death yesterday morning. It happened in Utah early yesterday morning in the hours before Biden arrived for a visit to the state. The Bureau says agents were serving a search warrant on the man's home when it happened. Craig Robertson was 74. In social media posts earlier this week, he said he was cleaning the dust off of a sniper rifle ahead of Biden's visit. The FBI says the shooting is under review. And today, no turn on red signs will go up in Indianapolis and downtown, 97 to be exact. City County councilors passed the ordinance in June to create pedestrian safety priority areas. The first sign will go up at the intersection of Pennsylvania and Ohio Street. Brickyard Weekend kicks off tonight in Speedway with the return of the NASCAR Hauler Parade. 2019 was the last time the event took over Main Street. Tonight's event is free, features games, a DJ, face painting, and the parade with more than 40 haulers. IMS President Doug Bowles will be there. It runs from 5 to 7. It's $3 Thursday at the fair again today. The Indiana State Fair, of course, I'm talking about. You can get in for $3, eat certain foods for $3, and enjoy midway rides for $3. Rob Bass is set to perform tonight on the free stage at 7:30. Gates are open until 9 tonight. And expect a little thunder inside Lucas Oil Stadium today as Drum Corps International brings back its championship. The Blue Devils out of California will try to defend their title. Elite marching bands will start with preliminary rounds. Semifinals are tomorrow afternoon. Finals are Saturday. Tickets start at $42. And to business headlines, Jane King explains how to resist those high-pressure sales pitches.
Don't fall for sales pitches that offer bargains or discounts if you sign now. Legitimate businesses will usually give you the same deal later. If you accepted the sales offer that was made at your home, the law gives you 3 business days to cancel the transaction. Now, the best 3 words for sales pitches like this: sleep on it. It's one of the best ways to avoid high-pressure sales pitches is to avoid them altogether. Now, some of the common high-pressure sales pitches are for cars, timeshares, life insurance, and home security systems. If you plan to go to a presentation, you can research the sales tactics ahead of time and prepare answers for a variety of pitches. However, one you may not be able to plan for is a funeral. The pitch is to let us create a memorable, no-expense-spared tribute for your loved one to make sure that it reflects the loving relationship you shared. It's a common enough occurrence that the Federal Trade Commission established the funeral rule to prevent predatory sales practices in the business. According to the rule, funeral providers must provide detailed price lists that explain which services are required by law. The best defense is to go online and decide what you want before going to the funeral home. Smart salespeople know your weaknesses, whether it's guilt, vanity, fear, or plain old laziness, and they're prepared to prey on any and all of them in their efforts to always be closing. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King.
This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and like us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.